Okay. We'll come back if you need any more maps or if you want some of this.
Wow.
Well, hello, everyone. Oh, of course, man. Right there. It's one of those
Did you
things.
push
Ready, you
live?
start, and then it's like your nose just is like, it's like, I want to drool out my nose. Nonetheless.
Oh, nice.
I know, it's wonderful. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Adventurers Guild. It is episode 8. And I'd like to welcome everybody in the group to
Hello.
playing with us today. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful day.
Glad to be here.
Hope everybody is ready and excited for today's adventure because last time we left off, the group had found out that they are in trouble. Well, specifically, Abigail is in trouble. Bounty hunters are out and about, and they are trying to claim her head. So, the party makes the executive decision to leave Waterdeep to escape from hot water, more or less. Lol, jokes.
Hot water deep.
Hot water. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Go home.
And they decided to make their way to the Dukedom of Breeden, where the source of Abigail's issue is. At the last we left off, the party had arrived on the outskirts of Breeden, heading from the east towards the gated wall. And it's at that point where the party was going to make their executive decision on what they are going to do. So that's where we will pick up now. Everyone, your cart had stopped a good ways away from the wall because you were going to discuss what actions that you want to take next. So I know everybody's talked about this in great length. What do you want to do?
So I'll take the direction of this. I would like to insight check Roxanna to see if I can determine her sincerity about whether or not we can trust her parents.
Okay, Granite, I need you to give me an insight roll. Roxanna, I need you to roll me a d20 and add either your persuasion or deception modifier, depending upon if you're trying to tell the truth or you're trying to tell a lie. Don't tell anybody. Sure. Granted, if you want to take advantage on that, or Abigail, if you want to read the situation by yourself, what would you like to do? Okay, both of you are going to roll against Roxanna. Okay, so Roxanna, don't forget, you've got to unmute when you're going to talk. So,
Come
now,
on,
Roxanna,
baby.
roll your d20, add persuasion or add deception.
Oh, I think you guys are screwed. That's a very excited movement over there.
And tell me your number that you rolled.
I got a 19.
Okay, she rolled 19. Of course, she's rolling against monsters in the party.
The two highest rollers in the party, yeah.
Yeah. You were rolling an insight check.
Insight.
Roll your insight. So that is insight is perception, isn't it? I think. Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
It's wisdom.
Insight is wisdom.
You're perceiving into her mind. Abigail, being absolutely concerned with what's going on to in the future here, for what's fixing to happen when she gets closer to the gate. We will have to see the case on that.
I rolled
okay.
16.
You rolled a 16. Okay, everybody fell underneath Abigail. Now, hold on one second. In the chat, somebody is not able to be heard.
I think you were talking about Riley.
It's because she is muted.
Are you to Talon? Are you referring to Roxana? She's good now. Okay, yeah. Roxana is muted, and she's gonna unmute and unmute at times. We'll just have to remind her to unmute and re-speak. So, bear with us on this. We're gonna do some tech upgrades for some of our new players here. So, bear with me. So back to the game. Granted, you fell under Roxana's role. So, Roxana, were you being sincere? Are you trying to be sincere about wanting to visit your family for the group?
Yes.
Okay, so granted, as far as you can tell, Roxana is being very much sincere about her parents.
Okay. Well,
Being
then knowing
supportive.
that, I'll turn to Abigail and I'll just, she's the only inn that we're going to have to the city right now.
Right. Right.
So I'll turn to the rest of the group, and if this one is being true, she's going to be our only way to get our foot in the ground here.
You hear from?
She's going to give
the
us a
opposite
place
side
to
of the cart?
possibly hide Abigail.
You hear from the opposite side of the cart. You don't put your feet in the ground.
So nice.
At this point, yes, you are still driving the cart. Roxana, you're based on the location that you're at. You haven't quite made it to where your parents' house is. I think maybe we may have said. Okay, Michael is not coming through, so. Well, you may be a little quiet for everybody. I'll tell you what. Give me 1 second. This requires me to change headphones.
Oh.
Quick, he can't hear us. What are we going to talk about?
Or not. My headphones are dead. All right, let me unmute.
I heard nothing.
Michael, can you give me a level? Yeah, you're not. What? Hold on 1 second.
Roxy might be having connection issues, just so you are aware.
It says
Yeah.
connection problem, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Or
right,
he's
one more
not really
time.
taking off on town.
One more time, Skid. Yeah, you're not coming through at all. I don't understand what's going on. Hold on.
Matchy.
Yeah, you're back. They've only been said a couple times.
She's back. Okay.
A little random plug for you.
Oh, well, that could be the explanation why. Mother.
Now, if anyone just ends a sentence with lucid, I expect you to just say burrito after it.
I will,
Thank you.
as opposed to dreams.
Yes. I am dreamy, but I am mostly a burrito.
What?
There are children here. Skid, please don't use that kind of language. I'm sorry.
My virgin ears.
Technically, I was referring to the literal child.
Yes,
Okay.
no, I
Hold up. Michael,
She's heard worse, I bet.
I'm not hearing you.
But still not permission.
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I know what the issue
Because
is.
He had it on
Because
mute.
I'm an idiot. That's why. This is all my fault, and I apologize. This is why I like video camera feed from all my players. Because if I put a picture of you up, sometimes I don't add you to the actual game.
rip.
Man, that's good.
This is just Skid's backstory. He's not important.
Yeah, you're not important at all, man.
it's the hat of disguise that's got him all kind of off the radar.
All pearls. That just dawned on me. I was like, why won't his audio stick? This makes no sense. All right. Michael, give me a level.
Hello, testing 1, 2.
Yeah, now you're there.
Cool.
I'll get a confirmation from the chat, but I'm pretty sure you're there now. Oh, you'll have to forgive me on that one. I completely forgot to add Michael into the session.
It happens.
Well, I mean,
Apparently.
he's in a rendezvous session, but he isn't in the actual session
Yeah.
being broadcast out to the Twitch. So
No, he is.
genius. That's okay. I also didn't start recording early enough anyway, so I'm gonna have to strip some from Twitch. So it's a wonderful day today here on the 20th
I was
of
going to ask you
February.
as soon as we started, but I totally forgot.
I was 3 minutes. I had run 3 minutes. I forgot to press record, and then I pressed record. I'll strip it from Twitch. It'll be okay. Nonetheless, in fact, let me do this just to make sure. I'm going to stop recording and then start recording again. That way I know I have Michael's audio track as I am expecting it. Well, there you go. Look at that. It didn't put you on track 7, Abigail. This is why.
Dove's cry.
You know, I thought I had everything ready to go. Being a genius here, but no. There we
It
go. All
wouldn't
right.
be one of our recordings if we didn't have a hiccup.
It's my fault. This is why I need a tech manager instead of me.
I'm on fire today.
All right. Okay. Back to the game. My apologies. Roxana seems very sincere about this. Abigail, you said that you were going to head in the direction of
That
Roxana's
Roxana
house.
gives me to her parents' house, yeah.
Right. Which at this point, I'm just going to say y'all hadn't reached it yet. So you drive on, and Roxana, you point out a house that is on the right side of the road, a little ways down, more or less covered under a very large tree. And it's kind of one of the earliest houses towards the kingdom. In the distance, you can see the tall wall. You can see multiple other houses of various shapes, designs. You wouldn't say that this is a rundown portion of the city, but it's of course not Noble District. You know, this is pretty much a peasant farmer house, to put it in perspective. And as you drive the covered wagon up into the location, just outside, you bring it to a halt. Currently, you see nothing that's giving you signs that anybody is in the distinct vicinity of the house. What would you like to do?
I'll get out of the wagon and I'll like knock on the door to see if my parents are home at that point.
Okay.
So as
you
she's
approach-
leaving the wagon, Granite's going to get her attention. Roxana, we have to make sure we can trust your parents.
They'll be perfectly fine with everything. Trust me. If y'all are with me, you're gonna be fine.
Trust is earned. If you endanger my family, I will destroy you.
I won't endanger any of you. Trust me, I don't want to do that.
Okay. So, Roxana, you begin to approach the front door. Granite, eyes sharp on Roxana. Abigail, still in a hat of disguise.
Yes.
I believe you chose a human look for your hat last time.
Like a human. Yeah.
Okay. Just an older
Forget.
human. I think it was an
Older
older human. In,
Female
peasant
warrior or
clothes,
something.
yeah.
I forget. Yeah.
Roxana, you knock on the door and you are greeted at the door by your mother. And she looks at you and she goes, "Well, I didn't expect you to be back so soon."
Came to say hi. Is there any chance we could open the barn to a couple people?
"Well, I guess so. What's going on?" And she turns and looks at the wagon in the back. "Last I had heard, you were leaving town with a group of adventurers to hunt down someone."
Well, some things have happened since then. They just need to rest. It's been a long trip for them.
Okay. Are these the group that you left with?
Not exactly, but it's a long
What?
story.
What? What is going on? Wait. Well, that's shifted.
Where'd you go?
that she shifted pretty hard right there. Well, what's going on?
So the people that I left with were
Yes?
looking to kill somebody, and I couldn't go through with it. So I joined the people that they were trying to kill.
This,
Kind of.
Come inside. You tell everybody else to wait out there. Let me talk to you for a minute.
All right, 1 sec. And I'll go back to the wagon, and I'll go to Granite because he was the one that was like, "Don't kill me," or whatever. And I'll tell him like, "So, I have to go inside for a minute and give a proper explanation of why we're here."
Do not use Abigail's name.
I won't. I'm not naming any of you guys. But until then, you'll have to stay in the wagon.
I am just scanning the entire area.
Give me like 5 minutes and it'll be really quick.
I'll get out of the wagon and I'll walk towards the horse.
I'll walk back to the house.
Okay. You walk inside the house and your mother walks you into the middle of the house and she goes, "Explain, young lady.
It's a really long story, Mom.
Give me short, distinct sentences on what is going on."
Okay, well, you see, you know how I left and I went with these people? Well, these people turned out to be really...
One
And they
more
wanted
time.
to do some things that wasn't really up my alley.
You kind of blipped out there, so I'm assuming what you said was they wanted you to do something that you didn't want to do,
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when
This
Moby
deep.
came,
Details, child. Details.
I'm giving you as much detail as I can, Mother.
She looks at you in the face. Give me a d20 and give me a deception roll.
Oh boy. 14.
You rolled a 14?
No, I rolled a 15, but my deception's -1.
14.
Oh, she can't lie.
She eyeballs you and she goes, details, child.
Do I have to name the people?
Yes. What is going on that you're bringing trouble to my doorstep?
I'm not
Tell
bringing
me.
trouble.
You are lying. I can read you like a book. I haven't raised you like in my household for so many years. For you
Mother!
to lie.
How about this? I'm not gonna name who they are, but I'll tell you everything that happened.
No. Names.
God, I don't even know who they are. I only know one of them.
You don't know who they are?
No, I just met them.
worse.
Ralphie's
Child.
outside. What do you think the odds are that we're gonna fight somebody today?
Child.
You raised me to
Yes,
trust people
apparently I did a
until
poor
proven
job.
Otherwise.
This is my fault. Now, tell me. Give me the information I am asking for right now.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. So remember that really good royal guard that, like, got blamed for killing somebody?
The Dragonborn.
Yes.
I remember her. Yes, you looked up to her. You swore up and down that she wasn't the one who did this. Or
Exactly.
who killed the king. I remember you distinctly telling me this a long time ago.
And you said you would trust me on my opinions, and you wouldn't,
I don't know if I said I would trust you on your opinions, but I believe you, child. Otherwise,
So-
it'd be piss poor of me as a parent.
So if that person was here, hypothetically,
I
Oh
thought-
my god.
Wait, hold on a second. The Dragonborn person?
Granite's gonna rage.
The Dragonborn person is here? I thought she was dead.
not exactly.
What happened? Okay, apparently something has happened. Because, okay, last I recall, your butt was dragged back here by a dude in black armor. A dude in black armor?
Wow.
A man in black armor where you had collapsed from smoke inhalation because you went to fight the evils that were destroying the kingdom.
Well,
So
before
what
I
happened?
passed out, Mother,
Yes.
before I passed out from the smoke, I opened the Dragonborn's jail cell.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
This is stuff that you haven't told me before. You
No,
little
because I had
lying
to leave.
brat.
I'm sorry.
There. Okay. Apology accepted. Now, more details.
So, some events have led up to us trying to get back, and the people that I left with weren't the best, and they tried to kill said Dragonborn. And
Obviously.
so- yes, Mother. They may or may not be in the wagon currently with a few other friends that I've met.
So you brought the traitor.
Not a
Here.
traitor.
Okay.
Not a
Pardon
traitor.
me. You brought the traitor
Not a traitor.
here to my house. But you say she's not a traitor, that she was fooled or something, or lied about, and made a
Yes.
scapegoat?
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk to this Dragonborn person.
Okay.
I
See,
want to talk to the Dragonborn person You, young lady, are on thin ice. You've lied to me. However, shut it. I will listen to what your people have to say.
Okay.
If I don't like it, I'm going to tell them to get the hell out because I don't want to deal with any other crap.
Okay, but what if they just stayed in the barn?
If I
They need
don't like
somewhere.
what they say, I'm going to tell them to get the hell out.
Okay.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So can everybody come in? Because I can't just take the dragon board in the house without them coming.
Yes. I will let them all come in.
Okay.
I'd like to at
I
least
will-
hear from them, too.
Okay, I will be right back.
All right.
So I leave the house and I'm like slowly walking back to the wagon at this point. I am
She
disappointed.
better be
and
looking
terrified.
hangdog as hell because I just told
Walk
her.
of shame.
Yeah. So I walk up. I avoid Granite. I'm walking up to.
You can't break eye contact. I am. As soon as that door opened, I was.
I'm gonna walk to Erwin. I don't know how to say your name. What is it? Erwin,
Erwin.
whatever. Because
Aaron?
I don't know.
Aaron.
You seem nice.
Aaron with a whole bunch of other word letters in between.
I'm gonna walk up and be like, "Hey, we need to go inside, like everybody."
Okay. Why?
Well, my mother can read me like a book, and realize. So.
I
didn't
look
name
around the
anybody.
horse.
Abigail looks at Granite and just sighs.
I
Can we all fit in your house, or should she come out here?
She refuses to leave the house.
You can have all the people stand in the house. It wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Okay.
It's not a tiny house like
Because
a
some of us
container
agree.
house.
Some of
It's
y'all-
Three of them are quite large.
I mean, somebody may have to like turn their head a little bit. I think Vessel, you're like 7 foot. Yeah, you'd be getting close to scraping some of the ceiling.
Yeah. But she wants to hear from Abigail mainly.
From me.
we have connection
You s-
problems for TJ.
Oh yeah.
Oh, crap.
We'll see. Hopefully he'll come back here in a second.
You said you didn't mention names.
I didn't
How does
say
she
your
know
name.
about me then? Why does she want to talk to me?
Didn't you
I
say-
am beaten in on this conversation.
Okay. Look, calm down. It's my mother. I can't lie. I didn't say names. But she knows She knows that I've looked up to you. So she knows that I left to look for you.
Ah. So she knows who I am. So, like, if I'm wanted, everybody probably knows my name. So if you told her who I was, she knows my name now. Okay.
Probably, yeah. But she believes in my word of what I've said about you. So you should be okay.
And what is that you said about Abigail to your mom?
Everything good. Everything that I've believed since I could barely walk.
We have a
I know.
double
I'm working
TJ in the window.
on it. I'm working on it. Give me a second.
Welcome to the Adventure Reels, starring Vessel, Roxana, Erwin, Granite, Abigail, Penelope, and Penelope.
It's the twin.
Cracker sets her own screen.
Oh yeah, Crackers gets its own screen. Nice.
Ribbit.
Yeah.
Give me a half a second. Y'all can continue talking. That's fine.
So, frustrated as Granite is, he will walk up beside Abigail, but he's focusing his attention on Roxana, which has connection problems as well.
Wow. No, I saw some movement. Well, I did for a second.
Oh, she's got connection issues. She can still hear.
And I will be forgiving. I understand you not wanting to lie to your mother. Lying to your mother is bad. But we have to try to be more discreet. We have to try to protect Abigail.
I know. And she won't say anything. Trust me. She won't.
You keep saying the word trust.
Does she trust you, or is she just believing in you because you're her child?
She trusts me. She trusts me enough to let me leave. She raised me from as a very protective parent since I could barely walk. She never let me leave without probable cause.
Hmm.
Then I'll wait until everybody's ready to go in.
Yeah, just waiting for Daniel to get everything set
We're
back up
good.
or whatever. Okay.
We're back.
All right. Well. Yeah, Abigail will, I guess, agree, and start walking inside
Okay.
with
I'll
with
advise-
everybody.
I'll walk with Abigail, and I'll advise her don't remove the hat till we're inside.
Of course.
I'll go in front of everybody since it's like my mom and stuff.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah,
You
you're gonna walk
all-
where I can see you.
I'll follow Granite.
You all make your way into the house, and during the time that y'all are having the discussion,
Penelope stays outside, by the way.
oh, Penelope staying outside. Okay.
Yeah.
That's scary.
During the time that y'all were having your discussion, you heard a loud shout come from the back door of the house, calling for Roxanna's father to come up to the house because he's
I'm
out
gonna-
in the field, still in the ground.
If Penelope's staying outside, I'm gonna stay outside with her.
Vessel and Penelope stay outside. Okay. So y'all make your way in. In the distance, you see a man with a hoe come walking up towards the back end of the door. Everybody comes inside. Roxana, your mother's standing there, and as y'all walk in through the back door, the father walks in. Yes, that kind. God. All right, hey. All right.
I knew that's where that was going.
Hold the chat in rendezvous because it does make
Sorry.
noise
Okay. Sorry.
unless it's absolutely necessary. Use Discord for some of that, please. You all make your way. Everybody makes their way in, and your mother is standing there, and she's looking a little confused, and she goes, "Well, where's the Dragonborn?"
Well, right by the big, scary looking one.
She looks over at a human woman. She goes, "You're not a Dragonborn." She looks
Yeah.
back at you.
I guess at this point, Abigail will remove the, what is it called? Stan's
Hat of
slow hat of
disguise.
disguise.
No hat of disguise.
Yeah, she'll remove that.
Okay. You take the hat off, and the magic breaks, and the visage of a older warrior woman drops, and of course, Abigail, in all her shiny brightness, pardon me, becomes very vividly seen in the house, and the woman goes, "Oh, well, that's understandable." And she looks at you, Abigail, and she goes, "Now, I've just grilled the hell out of my daughter." And she turns and she points a finger at you, Abigail. She goes, "Now it's your turn." She walks up to you and stares you in the eyes, and she says, Did you do it?
Abigail stares back and says, "The king has fallen by my blade. That being said, I believe that it was all as me using me as a scapegoat. I believe I was fooled or brainwashed into this act.
I'd like to believe
Words
Abigail.
fail me.
I'd like to believe that Abigail said it exactly like that, where she was stumbling over her own words.
That's fine.
Uh,
She is shaken by her own act. All these memories coming back. So yeah,
the old woman, she looks at you and she goes, I don't tell you, you don't seem like you're lying. Telling me the truth, straight shooter. It's a lot better than what my daughter gives me.
Okay, well, I had to not hide what I was saying because you see the big scary looking thing in the corner?
Zip it.
Okay.
Now.
I'm sorry.
Can I explain to Roxanna's mother? I encouraged her to use discretion due to the sensitivity of Abigail's situation.
She turns and looks at you with the big granite and she goes, you can wait. I'll talk to you in a minute. And she turns back to Abigail. She does not seem to be threatened at all by the giant presence of you. And she looks at you, Abigail, and she goes, again, you told me straight. You shot me straight. So you believe you were used.
I do.
Possible. Crazy things like that have happened. And given that how that asshole right now is in charge of the kingdom and the things that he's done, I could see that there could be some craziness behind. If
The
you
asshole.
lied to me, listen, if you
I
would have lied
apologize.
to me right off the bat, you would have been gone. I'd turn you all out and send you away and be like, get the hell out. Now, I wouldn't call the guard because this is my daughter. I don't want her thrown in irons for doing something stupid. But you told me the truth. I can respect that. And apparently, and she looks at you, Granite. She said, you seem to have some people around you that believe you as well. And she looks up to you and she goes, now you can talk to me.
I don't say anything.
Okay. Come into my home. Bring trouble around. She looks at you, Roxanna. Okay.
I wasn't lying.
No, you didn't give me details, child.
I couldn't.
Listen. Y'all can use the barn. Way out here, the town guard never really come around. Unless somebody raises a noise, there won't be any problems. Let me ask you this. And she looks at the group that's standing there. What are y'all doing here? What's your goal?
Now, Granite will say something. He'll lean in, and I'm assuming down towards her.
Yeah, because she's a short woman versus you.
We want to clear Abigail's name and try to right the wrong that was done in Breeden. Abigail has done a great service for me, helping my family. I only want to return that favor to her. And we did not mean to impose any inconveniences on your home or through Roxanna. Her discretion was at my advice for Abigail's protection.
Fair enough. But again, I don't know if you have kids. So, that one right there, she points at Roxana, is mine. And you, Granny, give me an intelligence roll right quick.
Fail. Wait a minute. No, I'm pretty good at that. Hang on.
Okay. Give me an intelligence roll. Just straight intelligence.
17.
Okay. She keeps saying, this one's mine, this one's mine, this is my daughter. But this woman is very much human. And Roxana is very much elven.
Okay.
So, I'll leave that with you.
I clocked that.
She goes, that one's mine. And I didn't raise her to do stupid shit. But if she's doing something noble, well, that's a different story. And again, the jackass running this kingdom is going to destroy this place anyway. If y'all are going to do some good here, hopefully y'all do well enough by all the people here. These are innocent people. We're just simple farmers. There's not much we can do. We just sell our food.
Yeah, I guess Abigail will kind of chime up about that and ask, if you don't mind, would you mind like maybe explaining like a little bit more on that? Like what is this? You're talking about Prince Valdrax, right?
Yes, that jackass.
What exactly is he doing that's right now that's causing trouble for all the people?
Taxes are through the roof. The town is just not as vibrant as it used to be when he came.
When did he come around? When did he show up?
He came about. This would be a year ago. Is when he showed up, and we'll do it through her. She goes.
Okay.
He showed up about a year ago.
Okay.
The townspeople, having known that the kingdom had fallen, or the Valdrax kingdom had fallen and was in rubble, was happy to see that he had survived the fallout after word had gotten. But when it was announced that he would be marrying... Pardon me, I gotta go to my notes right quick because I don't have this off the top of my head. When it was announced that he would be the Duchess Ellen Breeden, she was the Princess Ellen Breeden, the princess. It was met with some concern, given that he was from a fallen household, but not much you could do, and if this is the will of the king, then so be it. Shortly after he burped, shortly after he arrived, the king, both the king and queen had fallen ill, and he and his wife, Valdrax, and the princess had ascended to the throne, more or less.
Are the king and queen still ill? Are they still around?
As what we're being told is they are still ill and being cared for in the castle, but ruling has fallen to the daughter and Valdrax.
Okay. Well, thank you so very much for explaining that to me.
Yes, it's unfortunate that this has been the case, because since they've taken power, it's been taxes have been on the rise. Getting in and out of the city has been difficult. Usually, the guards, even for the people like us, they ask questions, specifically who you are, where you come from, what business you have in the kingdom. that kind of
Wow.
thing.
And it never
And
was like
every
that
time
before.
we have to tell, huh?
I apologize. It was never like that before Valdrax showed up.
No, trade was usually much more fluid. Given the situation of how closed off the kingdom has become, trade has slowed. It's harder to get tools and necessities other than what's available in the merchant district. Even the merchants are struggling at times to get the information.
I see.
So, if you do go by the gate to enter the kingdom, just be wary. Make sure you have a good cover story of some sort.
With
Roger
that being said, do you have anything that needs to go into town that we could take for you so we are not under the guise of deception trying to get into the city? We could utilize our wagon. Roxana could be guiding us into the city on your behalf for your wares.
Well, I don't really have anything that's kind of ready. I'll tell you what I could do is I could sacrifice some hay for sale in the town. We could do that.
Anything you need loaded, I would load for you.
We can do that. Let's do that. Let's do some hay. We don't need to sell the hay. The hay is useful for us here, but if it helps you get into the kingdom, we can do this. There's square bales in the barn. Take enough to make it look like you're traveling merchants or something.
Anything we're not able to move, I'll bring back or compensate you for if lost.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
Okay, yeah. At this point, I guess Abigail's gonna talk with Brennan, say that, that story doesn't sound fishy at all. Valdrax coming in, and then suddenly all this,
Yeah,
uh,
I agree.
the old woman turns back and looks at her husband. She goes, "Leroy,
Leroy.
open the barn." You see him slink out the back.
I see him. I assume Mama very much runs this house.
This is Mama's house. And she goes, "You're welcome to use the barn. The house is not going to be able to accommodate all of you. And
Fair.
Yeah, very fair. I appreciate it very much. So,
Before I step outside to get the wagon moving and inform Penelope and Vessel of everything that just took place in the house, I want to ask her if she has any knowledge. Would she know of anybody in town that could be able to help us try to find a way of getting to reach our goal, to relieve the city of the tyranny?
that there's nothing I can do for you on that front.
That's fine. I didn't know if you just happened to overhear some grumblings for the town.
There it goes, finally locked. Holy crap!
I'll pat Abigail on the shoulder and remind her to put the hat back on before she comes outside, if she comes outside. And I'll go out to Penelope and Vessel and let them know that, hey, they're going to let us use the barn. This is what all the stuff that she's told us what's going on, and we're going to load the wagon to with hay to see if we can get into the city to sell it. I was,
Before we leave, I want to ask the mom, since we don't know her name. Hey, mom, is there any merchants you prefer to trade with versus others, or are they pretty much all about the same?
Well, if you want, generally I don't do a whole lot of trading personally. I really don't know. The one that'd probably be the most sympathetic is probably, and I'm gonna have to. We'll call him Bob. Bob the farmer.
you're fine.
Bob it is.
Bob the farmer in town.
Bob the farmer. He runs a stall inside the merchant district. He's probably the most sympathetic to the farmers out here. Tries to take what he can from the people to cover the taxes that have been brutal. He would be a good starting point in the merchant district.
Would he be one that we could trust? Actually, never mind. Never mind.
She looks at you and she
It'd
goes,
probably be-
She goes, I know what you're gonna ask.
Hmm.
He might be able to point you in the direction of what you need.
Understood. Thank you again. Abigail's gonna go ahead and put that hat of disguise back on.
Okay. Put the hat back on. The magic retakes. And you all begin to file out towards the barn.
Yep.
So about what time of day is all of this taking place? As I've just informed Vessel and Penelope of everything going on.
This is early in the day.
Okay.
Ooh. Pardon me. Possibly around midday. Yes, the virus of the yawn. This is about midday, so there's still plenty of time in the day.
So despite Roxana's folly, I guess, her mother does seem to be a very noble, trustworthy, smart woman.
Seems to be very set in her ways.
Hmm.
Probably shouldn't mention that my mom was a little stubborn.
We didn't get her name. So I want to, at some point, talk to Roxana about the house name. What name of the house that they use so we know who to sell this under.
Okay, I don't think we ever discussed your parents' name. That's why I just threw Leroy out there. You can tell him whatever your mother's name was. Whatever you decided to be. That's yours.
You have 5 seconds.
Leroy tills the fields.
Yeah.
Last name Jenkins?
Oh my god, no.
Ha 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 ha.
They're chicken farmers.
I think it's pronounced Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
That got
Okay.
chicken.
Okay, so we've got the wagon. I'm going to assume that we're going to get the wagon to the barn to expedite this, and
Yeah.
I'll start loading the wagon.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you rope Vessel and Penelope and explain the situation. Granted,
I've explained it to them while Abigail was finishing up her conversation.
Can I go to the barn to talk to my dad?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because, like, I talked to my mom, but my dad didn't really talk much when we were in the house, so.
Yeah.
Like, just have a conversation with him and catch up. Because he's always working and busy, so.
Yes. Okay. You approach your dad. You see him with his farming implement, his hoe. He's back there. He's helping and load, and he goes, "Well, kid, you pissed your mom off pretty good."
Yeah. Seems to be a lot easier to do now that I'm older.
That happens. That's what children do when they get older. They piss their parents off. It's all right. We still love you.
I know.
What kind of trouble are you getting into?
Not a lot of trouble this time. Just helping out an old friend.
Understandable. Need
Lots
anything from?
happened.
You need anything from me?
No, I just wanted to catch up since I haven't been in town lately.
You being safe?
Always.
How's your aim?
Getting better every day.
Really? You're not
Yes.
lying to me, are you?
Why
You
would I
didn't
lie
shoot
about
the
that?
sides of buildings instead of the people, right?
It's
I might have slipped. What?
like he was there.
It's like I
may
know
have
my
slipped.
daughter.
It was windy. The arrow flew.
Look, kid. You have an innate talent with a bow. When I taught you all them years ago, you surpassed me. But at least I could hit the target. All right? You know, you used to be able to, you hit the tree a number of times, and then you started hitting the target, and then you started hitting bullseyes. There's a reason why you won that tournament back in the day.
I know. Just
So remember, elbow up, sight, exhale, let go.
got it.
Get that aim back. You're probably going to need it. Because if you suck, your people are going to be in trouble.
I know. I've been getting better. I've practiced.
Let me see. Come on. And he pushes you out the back of the barn while everybody else is loading.
Okay.
And you're good 55 feet away from the target at the tree. You've done this many, many times growing up. He goes, there it is. Hit it.
Oh, God. Okay.
Roll your
Roll your
d20
D20.
for an attack.
Yeah.
Plus your attack modifier.
Okay. So, a 1 plus.
The modifier for the bow.
I'm looking. Hold on.
Be under actions if you have it equipped.
She's having connection
find
problems
it.
off and on.
Yeah, she's popping in and out, unfortunately. Oh, I think we lost her for a second.
Can't find it, mother.
And commercial.
It would be
Da,
plus
da,
8.
da,
by the
da,
way.
da, 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 da. What did you roll?
Brought to you by.
Okay, I rolled an 11, and my modifier is plus 8, so I got a 19.
19? Okay, yeah, that's going to hit. Thunk. Brrr, bullseye. See?
Yeah.
Told you. Exhale. Sight. Shoot. You got this.
Yeah. Just, I think I'm a bit tired traveling, so.
See your dad reach around, grab a bow and an arrow, knock it, and pull it back. He shoots and it hits the outer rim of the target. Yeah, I still got it.
Never lost it.
That's right.
I'm gonna go help finish unloading. Is there anything that you need while we're heading into town?
Nah, just be safe, kid.
All right.
If
I'll see
you
you
need
later
me,
then.
let me know.
All right. Bye.
I'll come running.
I'm back.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I'll like head back to the wagon and see if there's anything else needed to be done.
All right. Sad face. I feel you, man. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm gonna say it. A little time passes. Enough hay is loaded into the wagon where it looks like y'all are at least going to be selling something. What would y'all like to do?
Well, we got to find. We need to get to the city. We need to get in the city. We need to find Bob and speak with him and see if he can kind of give us any direction or insight as to where we need to go or where we could possibly go next. Where we
Would
could
I
probably
know
find
who
that.
Bob is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
You
didn't
know
know
where you know where his stall
if
is.
it was-
You can guide them. You can guide them to the stall.
Okay.
He can point us where we need to probably look next or to get information and then see if he can point us at a place where we can find some respite for the evening where we could someplace we could trust.
Okay.
Should I be hiding in the back of the wagon, or should I be in the front again?
Well, if you're disguised, you're gonna have to maintain your disguise the entire time until otherwise. So
Yeah.
that
All right.
I guess that would be up to you whether you wanted to drive or not.
I drove most of the way here. How about I just let somebody else take the reins for a little bit? I'll just be in the back.
Sounds good.
Like animal handling. So.
Okay. So, y'all make your way to the gate. Right?
Is that a
Yeah, I mean, unless everybody else had something else they
That's
wanted
what
to
I'm saying.
do
Is
or
everybody
converse
good?
or
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, my dog's barking.
okay. So the executive decision is made. The party's moving towards the gate.
Yeah.
Who's driving?
I think Roxy said she was going to drive.
Okay,
She
yeah, I
said
thought I
first
heard her
one
say because of
on.
her animal handling. So, okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll animal handling. You know how to drive a wagon. You've done it before in the past. You make your way towards the outer city gate, and you approach. And the guard, there's two guards. You see, one on each side of the gate. As you get closer, one of the guards sticks his hand up and he goes, "Whoa, whoa!" What do you do?
I'll stop and I'll ask him if there are any merchants set up today, I guess.
He puts his hand down and he goes, "Yeah, in the merchant district, definitely. We have people. They usually set up every day." He goes, "I'm assuming y'all are not from the area then."
No, I mean, I am, but it's been a while. I didn't know if they still set up there or not.
Ah, okay. He goes, where are you Where are you out from?
I've just been traveling around. I stopped by. And had some things I needed traded. So
You see his eyes kind of narrow, his brow kind of go down. He goes,
God
"No." He
damn
goes,
it.
What city? What city are you from?
You're
I don't
from-
remember. Well, I'm from here.
Right, but where have you? What city are you from? Where did you bring the cart with your? I'll go above board. Are you trying to remember Waterdeep?
Yes,
Okay.
I was trying to remember the name.
But you didn't bring the hay from Waterdeep.
No, I didn't.
You're stepping on your own work. You're putting your foot in your mouth.
That's okay. That's part of the game.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Hey,
So you need to breathe.
All right. So back in the game, he goes, no. Where's your where are your trade goods from? Where are you coming out of?
My family home.
From here?
Yes, it's
Oh,
on the
okay.
outskirts.
Okay. All right. I want you to roll a persuasion check because you're not really being deceptive. You're telling them where you're coming from. So give me a good old persuasion roll on your D20 there.
Okay, persuasion.
I mean, y'all don't have to sit there. Somebody can chime in, give her advantage, cast a spell to help her.
Penelope will whisper, "You're doing great," and she now has inspiration.
Way to go, Penelope! let me poke my players in the side there so they don't all fail out right here. All right,
I
so
rolled a 19.
We wanted to.
you want to
can,
see her fail?
No, we're just letting her flounder. You could roll a d6 if you want to add to it.
Okay, so you rolled a 19.
Yes.
Roll a d6.
And then
That's your inspiration.
Yeah. Figured I'd add them together. 19, 20, 22?
Okay.
No. 19, 20, 20.
what did you roll?
23. I
Rolled a
rolled a
four.
4.
All
Yeah,
right.
I had to count,
23
my bad.
minus your 1
Yes.
for your persuasion because I think you're minus 1 on charisma.
Yeah. So it's 22.
22
We really
total.
need to not let her talk.
That is. That's a good roll. Hey, that's a good roll. She made a good roll.
I
Y'all
know
are the
she
ones who
did,
put
but
her at the
it's
front of the wagon, man.
Yeah, it is a good roll. Yeah.
the one with the shittiest charisma, putting in all the social situations. It's just amazing.
The guard looks up at you and goes, "Okay, all right." He goes, let me take a look in the back of the cart right quick," and he starts pulling on the covered portion of the cart since it's a covered wagon. He pulls back a little bit of the section, take a look inside. He'll see hay, and then the rest of you. I'm assuming none of you are trying to hide. Y'all are just kind of sitting
No.
on the hay.
I say, "Hey,
Yep.
He looks at y'all, and he goes, okay, she's selling. What are y'all doing?"
I'm part of the unloading crew. I'm the one moving things for her.
He looks at you. He goes, "Muscle," and he looks at you, Erwin.
I'm here for the ride. I was traveling along as well.
Looks at you, Vessel.
I am here. I am here to spread the word of Lythander.
Oh. Okay, so you're one of them god peoples. Gotcha. And then he looks at you, Penelope. What you here for?
I'm his apprentice."
And when you said you're his apprentice, you were pointing at Vessel?
Yes.
Not a god person. God people. And he looks at y'all and he goes, did y'all, and he looks at you, Roxanne, you giving them a ride into town or something? And I need Vessel and Penelope to roll an obvious deception roll.
Am I being deceptive?
I don't think
I'll
it
tell
is.
you what. You can choose. You can do deception because you are here not for spreading, technically, in this instance. I'll tell you what. You persuasion or deception. You're right about that, Vessel. You get to choose.
Can I give
Penelope,
myself
it's a deception
inspiration?
for you.
Yeah, 17.
Nice.
Penelope?
Oh, not bad. 12 plus 5 plus 7, 20.
Oh, God.
Brain. Hold on. With 17 plus 7, I can't think. 21? No.
24.
24. There we go. Yeah, I got 24.
Nice.
24. Tell you what. That's gonna be... He turns, he looks at you, Vessel. He stares at you, he goes, I have no idea what the hell you are. But if you're going to spread the word, make sure you don't annoy the people. All right? And he looks at you, Penelope. He goes, yeah, it kind of fits in. You look like you'd do that sort of thing. He turns to you, Erwin, who's got her camera off. And he goes, I don't even want to mess with you. He turns away and he seems to believe that the party is on the up and up. And he goes inside. He goes, wait right here. He goes inside the tower and he comes back out and he's holding a blue piece of cloth, blue cloth, almost like a flag. Okay. And he walks up to the side of the wagon. And he takes a hammer and he nails it into the side of your wagon. And he's like, dun, 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 dun. All right. That should cover it.
Thank you.
He says, y'all can enter now. He waves you in.
We'll go to Bob the farmer.
Slowly make your way into town and towards the merchant district. Oh, pop my back for a second there. As you begin to make your way into the merchant district, you notice that there's stalls set up. People are selling. There's it's still fairly busy in the area. But y'all are driving slow through the area. And as y'all get closer and closer to the Bob sections, you see up on the right-hand side, there's a fortune teller's hut. And there's an old woman there. She's rummaging around, and she turns and she looks up at your cart coming by, and she points at you, Roxanna, and she goes, "You there? Stop on by. Come on!" And she actually walks out of the hut and walks out in front of the cart and the horses, and she goes, "You should come to me. Come this way."
I kind of look in the back to everybody and be like, I think she wants us to go inside.
I'll look out to see who I'm seeing.
And she turns, she looks at you, and she goes, "Ah, beastmen, yes, come this way. I will tell you things. I have powers. I can see your destinies."
Well, we were destined to deliver this hay to Bob.
Bob
Can we come
would-
back?
There is no time. Bob will always be, but I will not. Come. And she's like old lady. You know, how would I this is Snow White poisonous apple lady old.
Oh jeez.
Penelope
You know.
jumps out of the wagon immediately.
I'm
Big
gonna.
Knuckles. She points at you, Penelope, and she goes, "Yes, you want to know your future, your destiny. You must have questions, things
I have
that must be
questions.
answered."
Old magic person.
I'm gonna look back at everybody and be like, if the kid goes, I guess we have to.
It won't take
You guys
long.
can stay if you want.
She's like, "It won't take long. Come all you. Park your cart here."
Do you have snacks?
She turns and she goes, "Would you like an apple?"
Penelope
I've
immediately
seen how
does
this
it.
ends.
let me define. Jesus Christ.
Penelope just takes a huge bite of it.
It's an apple.
I'm gonna just let me use my divine sense real quick. Ow.
Okay. You
You
burn
hurt
off a
yourself,
divine
Vincent.
sense. Eyes flash. You reach out into the area surrounding you. No fiends. No undead. No. Dang it! Why can't I remember the other two?
Celestial. Yeah.
Yeah, no celestial of that nature in the area. Everything seems just fine.
Okay.
Seems.
I guess we're gonna go in.
I'll take over driving the cart, and I'll stay with the cart to make sure that the hay doesn't disappear like some kind of scam.
Okay. She walks back. She goes, "Come with me. Come." And it's not really that it's you walk into a building. It's more or less it's a tent that has an overhang, and
Just
then
like
there
last
is a
time.
table that's in front that she does her work from.
So we can see
And-
inside the open tent.
You can see inside the open tent. Yes.
Then I'll sit on the cart looking into the tent.
Okay. She beckons somebody. She goes, "One of you must come forward. One. At
Penelope's
least for
right
now,
there.
one." Huh?
Penelope's right in front.
Penelope.
Oh,
Okay.
my chaotic little buddy.
Perfect. She looks at you. She goes, "Yes, you have questions that you want answered, right?"
I have questions.
Okay. Then she turns to you and she goes, "Hold on 1 second," and she reaches down, and then she picks up a square obsidian. Looks like a square obsidian piece of glass, but there's a metal trim that's around the outside of it, and she sets it on the table in front of you. Something you've never seen before. And she begins to
Neat.
move
What's
her
that?
hands around it.
What's that do?
She goes, "You will see, child." And she goes, "Touch, touch, touch." And she starts touching it in different locations. And then you see a dull, lightish blue color emerge from the glass, almost as if it's slightly floating above the glass. And she turns to you and she goes, "Your fortune and destiny can be told for 1 gold."
Penelope, being broke, immediately turns around and says, "Someone give me 1 gold."
I got her.
Granite throws a gold from the wagon.
Catch.
Penelope, give me a dex check.
Oh. Don't fail me now. That's not super great. 7 plus plus 3, 10.
You catch it. You catch
Hands are
it.
sticky from the apple.
She reaches for the gold with her long, gnarly fingers.
I give.
She takes it. She sets it down. She goes, "Your future." She says, "Child of magic, pour your essence into this rock." She calls it a rock. Just pour your essence into this rock. And I will tell you your future and your destiny.
I need to burn a spell slot.
In this
Oh.
instance, okay. She goes, "The greater the essence, the more information. The stronger the connection."
I'm gonna reach forward and put my hand on Penelope's shoulder, and I'm gonna give her guidance.
Okay. And Penelope is frozen at the moment, unfortunately.
I can hear both of y'all just fine, so it's a connection between you two for some reason.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I'm not hearing anything from TJ at the moment.
Yeah, that y'all can't hear each other.
Oh, fudge.
You both are
But-
perfectly fine on my side.
I see TJ frozen now.
All right, it may be a connection thing on his side.
Okay, TJ, we drop and reconnect? Or ask him to drop and reconnect?
TJ, he wants you to try to reconnect.
No.
Don't pour your essence into the. No, not your essence.
He's dead.
I have his essence. It's mine.
I'd like to rage.
I thought for a minute he was going to be like, "You want me to pee right here on this rock?"
What do you want me to do?
The internet has not been kind to us today.
Oh, the internet is a wonderful thing.
Hey, there he is. All right. Na, 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 na.
Welcome back.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. There, we should be good. Okay. TJ, what was the last thing you heard me say?
Okay. That's weird. So at the point where I
Okay. Yeah, the old woman looks at you, Penelope, and says, "The greater of essence you put into my rock."
hello.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear
Oh.
Daniel?
Hold on.
Can you hear any
A
of it?
loading screen on me for him.
Oh no.
No.
It doesn't seem like a connection issue on his side. Like he's perfectly fine for me. Oh, never
Yeah.
mind. Nope, suddenly connection
there he
problem.
went.
Yep, there he went.
I bet he's resetting his internet.
Yeah.
Well,
Damn.
we're never getting the essence of Penelope.
I will never get my hands on her essence. No.
Take the frog.
Want an apple?
Would you like an apple?
Is she scared by dwarves?
What?
Just a large number of them, right? At least 7.
Curtis.
I don't think your party has enough dwarves. Or Prince Charmings. But she could be a black dragon. You don't know that.
I assume everybody's a dragon in this game.
I'm not. Am I?
We don't know nothing about you. You don't say nothing.
I know.
There's not enough known about your character yet. Other than you
Oh, we
seem
just
be
need to put you
trustworthy.
into a map store so maybe you can get hit on again by some map maker.
Come here, little girl.
No.
Speaking of which, we need to locate a map of Breeden.
I can see you.
Hello. Everything's
That's
working
TJ.
now.
You can see
Yay.
me.
Yes, I had to reset
Okay.
my internet.
Oh my goodness.
Fair
Sorry.
enough.
The suspense is killing us.
Let me
Great.
double check, make sure the mapping is correct.
Mhm, mhm.
This is why I need a tech manager. Okay.
Find some high school IT guy.
Oof. And then I go
Okay,
down here.
so
Okay, so the old woman looks at you, Penelope, and she goes, "The greater of essence you pour into my rock, the greater the information you shall receive."
well, Penelope never holding back for anything. Well, I'm assuming she means to cast a spell, so I cast Agnazar's Scorcher at level 3.
Okay, and you were
Good
guided.
Lord.
You were guided by Vessel. Vessel come up and put his hand on your shoulder and gave you guidance.
All right. What's that, a D4, right?
Well, that's for ability checks. So
Oh, right.
So here's what happens.
Okay.
You put your hands above the rock, and you begin casting your spell. But your spell doesn't take form. What it does is you see a kind of a white mist, more or less, begin to exude from your hands into the rock, or what she calls the rock. And when you do this, the dull blue lettering begins to shimmer and shift and change. And then there is lettering begins forming across the rock. And Penelope, you don't recognize the lettering at all. You don't understand what's being displayed. But then almost as if like something else is being layered on top of it as well, and it's twitchy, it's jerky in a way. It seems odd, and she looks at it. She looks at what comes up, and she goes, "Oh, you are an interesting one." And she begins to move her hands around, and she begins to pull the letters around, and the different glyphs begin to slide across the surface that she has, and she pulls what information that's being presented to her apart, and she goes, You are not of pure blood. You are of..." And she moves her hands. "Dragon and human." And she looks at you. "Right?"
Penelope nods a little. I guess so.
And she goes and begins to expand upon one section. One section is red, one section is blue. And she pushes the red section aside, and she goes, "This is what we should focus on." And she begins moving her hands back and forth, and she goes, "You seek something. A return." And then she goes off to the side, and she goes, "Of an individual. To you." She pushes her hands forward. "The information you desire is possible. To tell you the truth, it's possible. It's of ancients, of the ancients. Yes, ancients. Yes, yes." And then she goes and she turns to a book that's on the side, and she sets the book down, and she begins to flip through her book, and then she pushes across the rock again, just keeps pushing her hand, and she goes, "The Eidos. What you seek to bring back what was taken from you, and she points at you, is the Eidos.
What's the Eidos?
The Eidos is ancient magic. But, and she looks at the people around you and she goes, it can bring back what was once lost. And she looks at you and goes, does that make sense to you, child?
I think so.
Are you satisfied with your destiny?
I don't know. More questions for me, not for you. Thank you.
Welcome. And as soon as you walk away from the rock, it goes inert and black again. And she goes, next, come, destiny awaits. And she points at you, Vessel. And she goes, would you like your destiny known?
I don't have money.
I got him if he's gonna do it.
But what I do have is a certain
If-
set
if-
of skills.
He's wanting to do it. I will get him, but it's up to him.
I would like to try something. Yeah, sure.
1 gold for your destiny.
I'll hand him the gold.
I ain't gonna make you roll for a catch. You're
Okay.
Vessel. You catch it.
I don't know. My dexterity's low.
roll unless if it's less than a 10.
It was a 6.
In all the coolness that you try to be and calm and being a stoic individual, you are sitting there trying to juggle a coin to grab it so you can get your future told. It falls on the ground.
Oh,
Penelope hands it to him.
here you go.
Her hand reaches out and takes the coin. She looks at you. She points and she goes, you will be interesting. Pour your essence into my stone, my rock.
Okay, I'm gonna try something here.
Okay.
I would like to cast Dispel Magic on the rock.
Good God.
Okay.
Level 3 spell.
You're going to go level 3. You're going to dispel magic. Okay, so you begin. You put.
I don't
your
know if
hand-
it's gonna absorb or if I'm gonna like fuck the rock up.
You put your hands over the rock, and here's what happens. You take your hands and you get close to the rock, and then suddenly, as your hands reach down, and you begin casting dispel, white mist emerges and is absorbed into the rock. But that's not all that happens. Both of your hands, you feel something inside trying to push out through your palms. You feel ding, 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 ding. It's hitting against the metal that makes up the portion of your hands. And it's going ding, 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 ding. And pressure builds up in your hands until finally you see your hand, the plates in your hands finally bend to side, and then out shoots wire metal that kind of just flails in the air from your hands. And it turns down and goes towards the stone. And then on the side of the stone, you see it begins to inset and open. And there's two round, like if you can imagine, it's like if a door were to fall, would be pushed in and then part. Two ports open on the side of this stone, and this wire connects into the stone. And she looks at you, and she grins the biggest grin you have ever seen.
Crap.
What you would assume an evil old woman grin would look like. And she goes, I knew you would be interesting. And then the stone itself bursts into gold lettering all across the screen. It all pops up across the top, and you can understand this.
Do I recognize the language?
Yes, you do. The language is celestial. And across the top, it sees two names. There's one that says Vessel. There is a second name that says MacArthur. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did I just screw that up?
Roll for deception, quick.
No. I want to make sure because I said, I may have just said your name by, where's my notes? Dang it. Where's my characters?
He
No,
was
MacArthur's
originally
right.
General
I'm sorry.
MacArthur.
MacArthur. Yeah, my bad.
MacArthur. Okay.
MacArthur. It's in parentheses. And then next to that is a string of numbers and letters. In your instance, for you, it reads, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. I got to pull my notes out because I can't remember this shit off the top of my head, unfortunately.
You can't.
It's the string of letters and numbers is 5665 7373 656C. I'll shoot it to you in Discord.
Okay.
And then you read it as you see that information, and then you begin to read more onto the actual screen itself. It says things like Android and reprogramming, data set, information. And you see the woman who's moving her hands around. And you notice that when she's moving her hands around and moving these glyphs around, when she touches it, the screen changes. And she moves down further, and she moves down further, and information changes. And she's touching information where it gets to a point where it goes... She goes, aha! So, that is what it is. She looks at you and she goes, if, for some reason, you ever were to lose your connection to your God because of this, and she points directly at the center of your chest. She goes, come back to me. I can fix it. Or I can open a new path for you. The decision will be yours. But she does say, however, know this. Because of this, and she points at your chest again. She says, you are an abomination. And you will hurt your allies more than you will help in the future. And she looks at you and he goes, "Are you satisfied with your destiny?"
Satisfied or not, I think I'm done.
Very well. And then she moves her hands and swipes away. All the gold letters disappear. And as fast as the metal wires erupting from your hands had shot out and plugged in through the side of this stone, they retract back into your hand. And then your little metal plates on your hands are slightly bent.
I'm gonna leave the tent and go back into the covered wagon.
Okay. She turns to anybody else. She goes, "Anybody else? Destinies."
I see, I see Stephanie smiling real big over there.
No. Nope.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
No one else wants their destiny?
Abigail looks at Granite. Do you think this could help at all, or should we just avoid it altogether?
What she tells you may not be pertinent to
Yeah,
your
yeah.
situation, but may reveal more than you care to have revealed.
Abigail's gonna stay in the wagon.
Okay. She looks and she goes, "No more customers? Sad. So many destinies to be told. But the choice is always yours. Thank you for stopping by."
Not gonna lie, I'm above the table. I'm a little interested, but Granite's had enough voodoo in his life.
It's up to you. Otherwise, we'll move on.
Did I see Vessel's hands when he came back to the wagon?
Okay, let me ask you this. Did anybody stand near Vessel? In reality here, was anybody going to be standing next to Vessel when he had his information told? Erwin, not. Roxana.
Abigail was still in the wagon.
Abigail
so-
was still in the wagon. Granite was in the wagon. Penelope, did you walk away?
She would have walked away, but I don't think she would have saw. I'm
Okay.
going off her height and his height, and she was probably back away. So I'm going to say no, she didn't see.
Okay.
She saw the light show, which was definitely weird.
Yeah.
So was Vessel trying to hide his hands coming back to the wagon?
The lights were definitely a different color than yours, weren't they, Penelope?
Yeah. He said mine were blue and yours were gold.
Penelope
Okay.
had blue and red. Vessel was gold.
I wouldn't have been hiding them, but I would have been like looking at them and like trying to figure out what was. So I wouldn't have been walking around going like this. But I would have been holding my hands like trying to figure out what had happened, because that's obviously never happened before.
I just want to know if I could have seen if there was any damage to his hands.
I wouldn't have been hiding it, but
You wouldn't have been able to see damage, but you'd see him rubbing his hands, and it'd be a little weird, but nonetheless.
I'll leave it at that. Okay, I'll leave it at that then. That's fair.
Abigail's kind of fidgeting in the back. You know what? She's gonna look at Granite and say, I need you to. I don't know if this is something I want or don't. Because, I mean, there's obviously something going on in there. In that tent. Because above the table, I'm interested too.
I mean, if Abigail's interested, but she doesn't want to go by herself, she could ask him to go with her. And
Yeah.
since Vessel's back at the wagon.
What would Abigail do?
Oh.
While they're deliberating, I assume Penelope and Vessel are still sort of over there. And Penelope's going to be, while still finishing the apple, it's going to be like, yours was weird. How come yours was gold?
You assumed incorrectly. I went back into the cart.
Oh, did you?
Oh, he walked away.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
Vessel walked
was. yeah, exactly.
Then
Penelope,
nothing
you
happened.
you would be standing there. You could have reached out to him to say something when he walked away.
Sure.
I she probably would have walked with him.
Okay.
How come yours was gold?
I don't know.
Do you know what an Eidos is?
Do I know what Eidos is?
I tell you what. Give me a religion check,
Okay.
and we'll see if.
Do I hear them talking about that?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, they're making their way to the backside of the wagon. You could probably have heard that.
Okay. Do I know what an Eidos is?
I rolled a 15.
A 15.
Yeah.
Vessel, in your time in the Temple of Lathander, you have not heard or read anything of or relating to Eidos. Abigail, you give me a religion check.
Sure. You know what? Never mind.
Abigail, you're really distracted by this crazy old woman in a tent.
That was a 3, by the way.
Man, this is your rolls are perfect with like what should be going on in reality. Here.
Yeah.
Right?
she's a mess.
I have no idea, Penelope.
I guess I'm just too focused on like what. Maybe Abigail's just thinking too much. Like, should I go in there or not?
As Penelope comes back in, are you going to go in there?
See the old woman begin to walk back into the towards
Abigail.
the opening of her tent.
Yeah, Abigail looks at Penelope as she comes in and asking that.
It's real weird.
Real weird how?
In the most literal sense, I think.
Hmm. All right, tell you what, Granite, I need you to follow me. Watch over me.
I get out of the wagon and walk with her.
All right.
Ooh.
Abigail, send her go in.
Abigail will go towards. You see the old woman. Turn around. She goes, oh, more destinies, more destinies.
Is Abigail taking a seat, or is it just standing?
It's standing at a table.
Okay, so I'll be an arm's length away from Abigail to give her some space. But as I touch her on the shoulder to give her the arm's length, I will cast guidance on her.
Okay.
Okay.
You walk up to the table, Abigail, and the old woman turns around, walks back, and she goes, "Are you seeking your destiny to be told?"
I believe I am. I heard things are pretty weird in here.
She pulls her rock back out and sets it onto the table, and she goes, "Pour." She goes, "Pour your essence into this rock, and your destiny will be told." And she looks at you intently, and her eyes flash. And then she continues saying, "For 1 gold."
Her eyes flash.
Uh-huh. So, she's expecting her 1 gold. Her
Okay.
friend is all crooked
All
and-
right. All right. Abigail grabs a piece of gold
Okay.
from her pouch and hands it over. I'm going to go ahead and remove that.
Thank you. Now, she tells you, she said, "Pour your essence into the rock. The greater the essence, the more the information.
Thank you, D&D Beyond. It had
Never
it had
kissed
to
a lady before.
it had to slow down for a minute there. All right. Okay. Yeah, Abigail's gonna reach her hand over and cast a spell.
Okay, and what level?
Let's cast a second level.
A second level. Okay. The information is, or the spell is absorbed into the stone through white mist.
Okay.
Blue erupts across the stone rock, or the rock once again. This is information you cannot read. To you, they are glyphs, and you do not understand anything. To the woman, she begins to move her hands around, pushing things, arranging. Yes, I see. Says for you. More pertinent information. And she takes her hand and reaches under the table, or the, like, not the table, but the tabletop and the bench that she's at, where she had kept her rock, and she grabs a piece of parchment, and she comes up and she grabs your hand and puts the parchment into your hand. She says, "Caution would be part of your future. Know that 1 of 4 is not loyal to your cause." And she looks at you, and then she looks down at the parchment. Like, open it and look at that.
One
Okay.
of 4 is not loyal.
1 of 4 is not loyal to the cause.
Okay.
Okay. I guess she's gonna. Sorry about my dogs.
Fine.
She's
That's
gonna, she's gonna open the parchment and look at it.
Okay, as Abigail
Street
opens
nuts.
the parchment, you will notice that inside, it is a wanted poster. And there is Abigail's name across the top, and a rough sketch of Abigail in profile form, and a reward for 10,000 gold.
Ooh.
And then she takes your hands and forces them back together. And she says, "For you, caution. And 1 of 4 is not loyal to your cause." And she pushes the parchment in your hands back to you. And winks. And she goes, "Are you satisfied with your destiny?"
Abigail just rolls the parchment back up. Does she let me keep the parchment?
Mhm.
Okay, she rolls the parchment back up, like stuffs it in her coat, and says, "I'm done." Turns around and walks toward Granite. With that, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Okay, go,
You're
go,
fine.
go, go. And she turns to you, Granite, and she goes, "Destiny?"
Above the table, I'm going to apologize to everybody because this is something that we're going to end up spending some time doing. But yeah, Granite's going to do this.
That's
Do
all
it.
right.
So Granite will pat Abigail on the shoulder, and I'm sure she's going to stand right there, because she didn't seem to go
Yeah, I
past
mean,
me to the. So
Yeah, no. Abigail is staying with you.
so I'll step
Granted,
to-
per basic insight, you gather that the old woman, whatever she was doing to Abigail, did not seem to be in any sort of malice, but more warning, like, watch
Right.
out. That
right.
you know. For you, She goes, coin, coin, coin,
I'll hand her the gold coin.
coin.
Ah!
It's a good day today.
Part of me is really not wanting to do this.
She looks at you and she goes, pour your essence into my stone.
So I will put my hands towards it, and I will push my second level beast sense into the stone.
And you do so. And as you cast your spell, the white mist takes it into the stone, or the rock. I keep calling it stone. Into the rock, and orange pops up across the stone. And she goes, oh, interesting. She moves her hands around. She goes, prime race, prime deity, no history. You are of origin species. Because that is all I can tell for you.
Was there anything to glean from that?
She said prime race, prime deity, origin species. And if you want to look, you can't read anything. You personally can't read anything across the
right, nothing.
the rock, but there is like sparse glyphs across this. It's like little bit glyphs here, glyphs here, glyphs here, but lots of blanks areas.
A lot of blank.
Yes. She goes, you are an interesting one, too. All of you are so interesting.
Okay, I'll thank her and I'll step back.
Okay.
I'll turn to Abigail and make sure she's all right.
Abigail
just-
nods.
I'll just toss the lady a gold coin and step up.
Oh, she catches it. She goes, more gold for the day. Never have I had such a great day. Come, 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 elfin child.
That means I gotta figure this out.
Give the rock your essence and learn.
Okay. Guess I'll cast Lunar Spell or
Okay.
Lunar Flare.
You cast, and as you feed this rock with your magic, blue once again comes up onto the rock. But then, not only from there, it begins to extend upwards, higher into the sky in the tent, and then begins to expand outward. Like it's one massive semicircle around this woman, the old woman. And she begins to reach up into the air and move things around. And she goes, longest lineage I have ever seen. And just glyphs begin gliding through the air. Origin race of the ancients. Goddess. Magic's based from the goddess of Moonbow. Though you may not know that. She pushes up and she goes, for you, a ruin from the past, the ancients of your race. There your destiny awaits you. To the north. And she goes, she gathers it all, she condenses it back down, pushes it back into back towards the rock, and claps her hands, and it vanishes. And she goes, that is all I see for you.
I just step back.
She goes, well, I believe that is all.
I mean,
Everybody good?
you palm read everybody, and
Roxy.
We all just turn around and look at Roxy.
Think of it like a scary fair thing.
For the fall festivus.
I guess I'll go.
Okay, Roxy. You approach and you hand over a gold coin. And she looks at you and she goes, child of the city. Pour your essence into the rock. The greater the essence, the more of the information you get.
I'll cast.
Just give me a level spell that you cast.
Sure, why not?
What level?
2.
Level 2, okay.
she needs to fix her mic.
I don't know if you're muted
It's
right
too
now.
high.
Nah,
No,
there
it's
you
too
go.
high.
It's almost as if somebody said that earlier.
But
Okay.
She kept moving it up.
You pour your magical essence into the rock. Once again, the rock erupts in blue glyphs. Roxana, you do not understand any of these glyphs. However, they are almost in length of lineage as Erowins. As many of you had seen, Erowins had erupted into a very large semicircle around the old woman. This is about, I would say, about half of what Erowin's size of semicircle would erupt from Roxana. And she looks at you, she goes, prime race, prime deity, or no, I'm sorry, not prime, origin race, origin deity. The ancients run through your blood, much like your companion, and she points over at Erwin. However, there is not much left for you. Information is sparse. Beware your savior. And she pushes the information back down into the tablet and says, Are you satisfied?
I'll just kind of get up and walk away in confusion.
I can't hear her.
I think she's muted.
I am not.
Speak louder.
Hello?
It's like she's not speaking through the microphone anymore.
Hello?
Yeah, check your settings. Check your.
She had to, something had to have changed. Hang on, I'll check it.
Yeah, because that sounds
Hello?
like it might be coming.
There it
you
is.
go.
That's better.
I think I clicked, I accidentally pushed the
Oh, she
button.
muted the mic.
You're muted. It's almost as if I said you're muted.
But I
She
wasn't like,
wasn't muted on the screen though.
No,
Okay,
you're
anyway.
muted in the button.
I was just
You're
gonna
good.
walk out in confusion.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's fine. As would be expected. You walk out the party having, and she turns and she goes, "I've read you all. I have your gold now. Thank you for the wonderful day. You may go." And she turns and she takes her stone, and instead of putting it back on the underside of the counter, she takes the rock with her into the tent.
I'm making sure everybody's okay as we get situated to the wagon.
Okay. Everybody good?
Let's
Yeah,
go
I'm
sell
good.
some hay.
Hey.
Okay. Everybody loads back up into the wagon. The old woman is inside. And I believe you all make your way towards Bob, the seller, the merchant of death. No, the merchant of hay. With Roxanna's guidance, you're quickly at Bob. Bob recognizes you, Roxana. You've driven a wagon to there before. He knows. But he is a little bit confused. He looks towards you and he goes, "Well, hey, Roxana. Kind of a interesting group you're here with. What can I do for you?"
selling hay for my parents.
Oh, that's an
Just
odd
like
time.
usual.
Well, it's an odd time to be selling hay, but I'll take what you offer. I'll try to give you a good price, just as always. What you got back there? How much you got? And you put to expedite the selling process. The amount of hay that you wind up with that you could sell for is going to be the equivalent of about 2 gold. So he makes the offer of 2 gold for the hay.
I'll sell it for the 2 gold.
Delivers you 2 gold, and he goes, "Is there anything else I can help y'all with?"
At this point, at the unloading of the hay, I'll try to approach Bob unless somebody else wants to try to helm this conversation.
Go for it.
Abigail, are you available?
I think Abigail is still
Abigail has
away.
stepped away. Okay, so
Abigail is
I'll go
still.
with her in it.
so I'll go up to Bob and introduce myself.
Well,
Granted.
nice to meet you, the big man. Shakes your hand. He goes, "What can I do for you?"
So help Roxana and her family load the wagon to bring it into town. And her mother was explaining that her disdain for the prince and the oppression that's been put on the people.
He looks at you. He goes, and
I kind of look
indicates-
around, see if there's anybody looking.
Nobody seems to have noticed, but at the time he goes, we speak in whispered tones when we refer to him. So, for the future conversation, this will be in hushed tones, but we won't
So
hush our
stage
tones.
whispers.
Stage whispers. He goes,
I'll be keeping an eye out for people like paying undue amounts of attention towards us.
okay. Give me a
I'll make sure
perception
Abigail
check.
is present for this conversation.
All right.
I'll kind of
Abigail's
just kind
next
of
to
pull
you
her
and
along.
Erwin. Give me a perception check, Vessel.
It's 19.
19. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. You. He looks at you. He goes, "We speak in whispered tones regarding that, guys, or regarding the case, but nevertheless, it has made life has been a little difficult lately, and I say a lot difficult lately. I've been trying to help out where I can, and at least keep my myself from going under, losing basically everything I own. But it's difficult. What
I understand
what
you
information
looking out
are you
for your
needing?
people. Well, I understand you looking out for your people, and with Abigail. Nope. Hang on. Granite would have been smart enough not to say that.
Okay.
With all of the things going on within this town, it just seems like there could be something that could be done if somebody was willing to step up and help, try to make a difference.
Very possible. You could seek out people. She looks around, or he looks around, and he goes, just depending on what kind of help you're looking to do, he's going to do an insight check. Oh. Lock, stock, and barrel, he believes everything you're going to be saying. Natty 1.
Oof.
So he looks at you and he goes, if you're trying to do good for the town, there are ways. The people of this town, they do not like Baldrex at all.
This is what I've been told.
I would suggest you seek out the 4 noble houses of the kingdom. The House of Galliford, the House of Bruce-Smith, the House of Lawling, and the House of Coleman. These
Galliford,
houses
Bruce
were,
Rawling
Smith.
and Coleman.
These houses were last known to be loyal to the previous duke.
Okay, Galliford, Bruce Smith, Lawling, and
Galliford.
Coleman.
Galliford, Bruce Smith, Lawling,
Galliford,
Coleman.
Bruce Smith, Lawling, Coleman. Okay. I appreciate your help. And I'm going to try to shake his hand, and I'm going to try to give him the 2 gold back that he paid for the hay while shaking his hand.
He shakes your hand, kind of gathers what you're doing, and then takes the coin and put it back. And puts it back down. He goes, well, anything else I can help?
Do you happen to know if there's somewhere that we could stay for the night in town that could be kind of off out of the way?
I would probably suggest staying away from any of the merchant guild or the merchant district here. possibly stay towards more so in the industrial district.
In the industrial district. All right.
Roxanna, you understand where the industrial district is, but Granny, you have no idea.
Sure.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes.
Yes, little one.
Do you know what an Eidos is?
No.
Is there a wizard place here? Do wizards
Wizard
congregate
place.
somewhere? Like a school or a
I'm afraid
like a wizard bar or like a wizard coffee shop? That seems like something they would do.
the only place that wizardry you would see is probably within the guild halls for adventurers, or the maybe some of the merchants who could do. We don't have any established wizardry here.
What about a temple of some random god? Or Lucha, Netra,
there would
Lathander,
be-
Lathander. Is there one of those?
He looks at you. He goes, "The light of the thunder has not reached our domain. His domain has been mostly water deep."
Dramatically, she goes, "It has today," and just
Just
Vessel.
Vessel, what are you doing when
I knew that was
Penelope shouts that out?
I'm just scanning the crowds, keeping an eye out.
He looks over at you as Penelope motions towards you, and he goes, nods and says, "Okay."
But
Good to
anyways,
know.
is there a church of some type here?
You can find what would probably be not anything great like a temple, and this is
Right.
just going above board. He explains to you that you would find small home-style parishes mostly.
Gotcha.
The low-level priests is mostly what you would find in this area.
Okay.
But of the deities, you could probably find a few of what would be considered good deities.
Gotcha.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
The only part I missed is if he mentioned a place that we could stay.
That would be in the industrial district, but Abigail, you
Okay.
wouldn't know. The only person who knows where the industrial district is Roxanna, unless y'all
Okay.
acquire some sort of map.
That's fine. I just missed that part. That's fine.
Gotcha.
Saying
Although
that-
my favorite part was hearing about some kind of wizard bar. That was my favorite.
Wizard bar.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so he looks and says, "Is there anything else?" I think your best bet, wink, wink, is what I had explained.
Bob, is there any way we could try to obtain a map of Breeden? Or do you know where we could obtain one?
Here in the Merchants Guild, you should be able to find somebody who's a map maker.
Anybody particular that you would want us to deal with for discretion's sake?
I think you'll be okay. There's really kind of honestly one map maker.
Roger that.
Didn't know if
So-
there was like a general store that you would prefer us to ask questions or trade wares at.
He looks at you and goes, as long as you're on the level of nothing suspicious, you'll be okay in the merchant district.
Okay.
Just don't overtly do anything odd. People are, and he points at your wagon. He goes, he points at your wagon. And he He goes, "That is your greatest ally right there." And he points at the blue cloth on your wagon.
Okay. It really wasn't explained, and I'll ask Bob what that actually meant.
He goes, "The guards are keeping track of people who come from different areas of the world, of the local areas. Those who are suspicious are tagged red. Those who are innocent, who are not so much a threat or deemed a threat, are tagged blue. So those of a higher lineage, noble lineage, are tagged purple."
Oh, we could have got purple.
Okay.
He looks at you, Penelope. He goes, "You don't want purple.
I like purple.
Purple's a fine color." But he goes, "As long as you have that, should be okay."
Appreciate your time today. Thank you for your help. You may have
No
helped the
problem.
people more than you know.
"Well, come back anytime." And he's kind of being loud at this point. He's like, "Come back anytime to Bob's agricultural store. We'll buy and sell it all." It's the farmer's market. That's what it's like. Bob's agricultural store, and beneath it, and with quotes, it says it's the farmer's market.
No weird shit in here.
Totally legit.
Shit, cow shit.
All right, so to expedite it, unless there's some really interesting information to glean from it, I want to find a map of Breeden,
Okay, simple enough.
but I'm going to charge Erwin for that task since she seems to have some connection with map makers and Granite's Eyes.
Erwin, you simple enough. The local map maker, Roxana, knows where there's a good where the map maker is location. She leads you all there. You all, you know what? Yeah. You all. Come here. Give to Daniel. Thank you. You all make your way. Well, Erwin, you make your way inside. Inside, you see a very nerdy, super thick glasses kind of guy, and he's got a compass on some parchment, and that he's spinning and freehanding some areas. And he looks up and he goes, "Oh yes, what can I do for you?"
My group and I would like to purchase a map of the local area.
Hold on. Yeah. He gets up and he walks towards the back and he begins rummaging around in the bin behind him, and he pulls a map out and he lays it down in front of you, and he goes, "One map of the local area. It's 10. It'd be 1 gold, or 10 silver, or 100 bronze pieces. Your choice."
Could find my money.
Hit him with a sack of nickels.
Okay, I'll give him a gold.
He takes the gold. He's like, "Thank you, pretty lady."
Does she really do that?
Oh no! Oh, come on now, do it.
Don't be shy.
Fine, why not?
Yes. He looks at you and he goes, "Oh," he goes, "Are you busy this evening?"
Yes, unfortunately I am.
Oh, swimming in a mist for old Ned again.
Rick Moranis, motherfucker.
back if you need any more maps or if you want some of this.
Wow.
Next time
I
Penelope
live here
finds out-
all the time. I
Oh,
live
man's
here.
got no game.
Riley, you okay?
See, hold on.
It's upsetting to see your mom flirting with Random.
Roxy makes the maps correct.
Do what?
Does she know the guy? She asked if she knows Ned.
I mean, you've seen him in town before. You don't know him. I mean, you just know he's a
Okay.
map maker.
Apparently, you can
You
go
don't-
back for all of this.
Wanted, it's okay. I can deliver.
Oh, that's not good at all. Ugh.
I thank him for the map. Sorry for disappointing his evening, and I leave the building. But
Erwin turns and moves very quickly outside of the building.
I'll charge you a map to my heart, miss.
Please let me draw you
Oh,
the
no.
path to my love. You see Ned sits at the table and he's moving his compass around. Like, dang.
Please tell me he marked his house specifically on the map. My house.
Well, no, he told her he
Right
lives at that location.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I know it's a little difficult to hear, but he did. I did say that. He goes, well, if you
Yes.
need me, I live here. You can find me
Yeah.
here.
I heard it. I know what to
Ugh.
avoid. So I'm going to take the map back out to the wagon.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to hand it to Granite and tell him these 4 homes of the nobles that they spoke of should be in this area.
This has been
You
circled.
you circle. Well, no, given your background, you're like they're here. This one's here. This one's here. This one's here. This one's here, and you mark it on the noble district. And you're like this. These are where they're at.
Did you get this information from the map maker?
No, I've had the information of these names. I just didn't know if they were still a possible, that they were still connected to the Duke or not.
How would you know this?
I know several things when it comes to what's it called? Like, I don't have the words. The courts and nobilities.
Surprising.
Whoop, whoop.
Granted, just kind of off put by the fact that she knows things that she hasn't shared yet. But
But Penelope is also off put. Like just of everywhere? Like do you just know everywhere?
Not everywhere, but a lot.
he'll lean over to Penelope. It's the quiet ones you have to watch.
That's
the
why I'm
loud
always
ones that make
yelling.
quiet.
Nobody watches you when you're yelling all the time.
All right, so we have our map now. Good job, everybody. And we know that where the 4 houses are located.
Why is this little house circled
And-
here?
Yeah, what's our location where we're at circled?
Tell
With a
him
little heart.
later.
It's circled in a heart shape.
Got a little arrow through it.
So, looking at the map for the industrial district and talking to Roxana, we need to try to find a place to rest for the evening. You're muted if you're talking.
We're asking you for direction.
So she's just standing there looking blankly at the map.
Roxana's like,
Where's a good place to stay?
Roxana, you would
She had to find the mute button.
I had to. Okay, hold on.
Here, I'll give you. Here, I'll give you. I'm giving you this opportunity. Roll a d20.
Boy.
Low numbers is going to be a crappy place to stay. Mid numbers is a normal place to stay. High numbers is a pretty luxurious place to stay.
I got 11.
The mid, you're right in the mid zone. So,
That's basically what we wanted.
and I will let you name the place that you are staying at.
Yeah,
So-
where are we going,
Yeah,
Roxy?
where are we going, Roxy?
What is the name of the inn and tavern in the industrial district? I'll give it to you. Come on now. I'm being nice here. You can make it whatever you want to make it.
I'm sorry. Please give me one.
Some names
Okay,
are some names that you could use, maybe like the Knight's Foot or
The Wonky Knocker.
Wonky Knocker.
Stop.
What?
Ed's,
Taverns.
Ed's Shack of Love.
I can't say what I've told her.
Yeah. So just put put some ye olde name together. Y'all make your way. Y'all begin to make your way towards that destination. I'll give her a little minute to think about what the name of it's going to be.
Ye old bed and breakfast.
Ye old Airbnb.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Ye old Super 6.
Don't forget to unmute when you say something.
She's frozen.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Okay, think about it. Y'all make your way
Muted either
towards.
way.
Y'all make your way towards the bed and breakfast location.
Oh my god.
When you get there, it's of a normal standard inn that you would normally see in towns. Nothing overt, but nothing terrible. She led you to a pretty normal place.
The Aardvark.
The Aardvark.
The rusty
Oh.
Aardvark.
As you pull in, and
Hey, did you hear her?
no, she's
No.
frozen at the moment.
Okay, she said it's called the Raven's Claw.
The Raven's Claw. There you go,
Wow.
Harry Potter fans. It's the Raven's Claw.
Stupid wizards.
Skinny, shitty wizards.
Okay,
She's
So
still
you-
frozen. You can see her face is bad.
Yeah,
It's
it's
called-
all right. She'll come back here in a second.
here we're gonna go to a place called the Ravens.
The Raven's Claw. As you approach the Raven's Claw, you see in the distance, like I said, Harry Potter. You see a wooden raven sign with wooden clawed feet holding on to a rectangular sign that says "Burned in the Raven's Claw." Bed and breakfast. And you make your way inside, or a couple of you make your way inside. I'm assuming somebody's going to stay with the wagon. And
Oh,
the proprietor's at the door and looks at y'all, looks at those who run in and said, "Yes, can I help you?"
We need rooms. many
Rooms,
have you-
you say? Well, I think I can handle that. How many rooms are you needing?
It depends how many you have and how much they cost.
Well, for a room, it's going to be 1 gold a night per room.
Okay.
And
There's
I've
6
got,
of us.
she goes, I got about 4 rooms available right now.
Okay.
who am I missing?
You.
I guess that would be accurate.
Wow.
Granite had a moment.
I ain't missing you at all.
To be fair, I did the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, my camera's not up here.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who the hell am I missing? The DM. Okay, got him.
We'll take all of your rooms, I think.
All for 4. And how long will you be staying?
1 day, I think.
1 day at a time?
Yep.
Yeah, 1 day at a time.
Okay, be sure. Be sure to pay in the morning if you're staying again in the following day.
We'll
Understand?
do. We'll do.
That way I can keep your room reserved for you and not give it to somebody else.
That makes sense.
Excellent. 4 gold, please.
I'll take care of the financial part of that.
My gold handler will pay you.
She's unfazed. She takes the gold from Granite and she goes, here's a weird noise in the back. Steve, are you okay?
Scuba Steve.
She okay, that's why. Somebody walked into the house. She
Oh,
I lost my train of thought. Sorry. She hands over the keys to the rooms. Said room numbers on the key. Upstairs to the left. There's a row of rooms. Your rooms are marked on the door as well as on the keys. Should be easy enough. If you need stables for any type of horses and carriage, down the street there is parking for such a things and where you can lock them up.
awesome. I'll
Cool,
take care
thanks.
of all that. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I'll go back outside to the wagon and make sure everybody knows that, hey, we got some room. We got 4 rooms available, so we'll have to buddy up.
Penelope takes the key and runs off. Have fun.
I'll offer for Roxy to stay with me.
Are you muted? You're moving your lips.
Yeah, my bad. I realized that.
Her
You
brain
just
is broken.
behind her back.
You figure out, I will say, room assignments, easy enough to figure out.
Okay.
And for the sake of brevity, you take the cart down to storage. They charge a silver a night storage fee.
Got him.
Cover that. And at this point, it's late afternoon.
Bedtime.
Oh, late afternoon.
For old people, it's bedtime. Gotta get up at 3 a.m. to drink coffee.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Gotta break out the Reader's Digest.
So I
That's
guess
an
we're gonna do a little
old-
bit of downtime stuff. We got to figure out how all this stuff is connected. So I want to talk to Abigail about the reading from the fortune teller and ask her about the noble families, which if she would know about these noble families.
Noble families of dukedom. Or
Yeah.
this dukedom.
Abigail just kind of shrugs. I have no idea of any of these noble families, but I mean, assuming from the reading I got, we can't trust one of them.
One of the 4 houses that were mentioned, which at that point it would click that Erwin for some reason knew these 4 houses. So maybe we need to get her in on this conversation.
Erwin. They invite you in to discuss. I'm assuming everybody's there, actually.
It's not an
pointed-
invite,
you're
it's an
pointed
ambush.
You're pointed at Erwin. Again, you have this. You have known. You know this information because of your background. Of the households, where they're located, because this is at the time, based on your history, this is what was expected of you.
Mhm.
However, things have changed over time. But that doesn't mean you can't get new information. So, for those 4 households that were just mentioned, you can gather that you can find new information in the merchants district by just talking with the merchants and getting friendly with them. They can hand over additional information about what's been going on in the city.
Also, to that effect, because I remember what I was going to mention while we were looking at the maps and started making fun of Erwin. Penelope was looking for tavern, wizard, something to do with magical
Wizard.
effects, or
Yeah.
were you looking for stores, or were you looking for anything of?
Looking for wizard knowledge. Wizards.
Wizard bars.
Yeah, well, wizards hang around. They know. They know.
You might have information.
I don't know. Okay.
Erwin,
So-
look under.
The third
Look-
one.
Yeah.
Okay. I was getting there slowly. Of these,
Oh.
okay. So of the 4 noble families, all I know is they used to be loyal to the former duke, but that may have changed in the time past. But I know that Penelope, you've been asking for magical information, and I could possibly try to find out if the court mage is still around.
You know a
As
court
well.
mage?
I know of the court mage, yes.
What's his name?
Glacier Knox.
That's a wild wizard name.
That sounds like a wizard name.
They have the dumbest names.
Thank you.
Honestly, it didn't matter how cool his name was. She was going to shit on it.
So we have some directions. So we have somewhere to look, or someplace to start.
Yes.
How do we want to approach this? Where do we want to start? Trying to find information about the houses, and where can we find some stuff that Penelope might be interested in? I know you said the merchant district, which means we're going to have to go back downtown.
Yes, I think we're gonna have to go back down and eventually just talk about and find out which families may still be loyal or which ones have been acting out of their normal characters, to find out if they're ones we can trust or not.
Would Roxy know any merchants that would be approachable for that kind of conversation?
Nah, that wouldn't be in Roxy's game. But maybe Erwin.
Do you think maybe Bob would know more?
Bob is you gather that Bob is probably
Let's
giving
go see
you,
Bob.
Bob is probably giving you about as much information as he had himself.
Okay, all right.
We always go see Bob.
What if
But
we?
I believe Erwin just recently met somebody that might have information.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Ned.
What,
Might have
what,
to romance up the map maker.
Might be willing to part with some information too.
You already got an in with Ned, so we could probably start there. While some of us kind of look around to see what else we could find.
what if we? Now hear me out. It's a crazy plan. What if we skip all the middlemen and turn in Abigail right to the Duke, and then kill him in front of everyone?
I think being discreet about our approach would get us closer to the door than it would be just
I think
No
Having
way.
all the-
He would 100% want to see her, and then boom, there she is. Boom, he's dead. Hit him in the head, catch him on fire.
just play mind games with them and make Granite wear the hat of disguise and make him look like Abigail.
Boom, that's a great idea.
Granite's getting very uncomfortable.
Whatever saves me from dead.
Granite's been doing everything he can to be precision about taking care of people, being slow, and let's just knock on the door and say hi.
It always works.
But you just have to take off the hat when he says it's you, and it's not. And then it's like,
So I have a question for you, Penelope.
Yeah.
If Granite is wearing the hat and pretending to be Abigail, how are we getting Abigail there without being noticed?
She can just stay here.
Let's just reduce the number of people to help us in this fight. Yes,
Split
that
the
seems
party,
like a
yeah.
great idea.
She can sneak. You can sneak, right, Abigail?
She like stands up as her armor just clinks and clanks.
Shrink.
I like the approach. Direct.
Okay, then we just leave her in the hat of disguise. Or not. No one's disguised. We just walk straight in. Bold as you please. They'll never see it coming. I mean, they'll see it coming literally.
now that we got all the bad ideas out of the way, let's get real ones out.
It's not horrible. It really
I still
isn't
think
horrible.
We should go
It's
see
just-
Ned.
Why?
I'm kind of partial to the Ned idea myself.
Oh my god. Yes.
Mm.
Can we put the hat of disguise on Penelope, make her look like me, and let her go?
I was about to say that.
I'm a child. That's messed up.
What's an 11-year-old going to be? What time are you doing this as an 11-year-old?
She's wearing
Actually, no, you know what? None of us know this. You're the only one that knows this, so this is a poor effort on your part if you do this.
That's messed up.
Hilarious.
Put an 11-year-old in the
I want to
in the path of all this.
No, thank you.
Hey DJ, role play with me.
No.
Oh god.
I will
3
not
hours
let my child
later.
character do that.
Oh,
Oh Lord.
we've crossed a threshold in D&D that does not need to be explored. If I tell you what,
I got it. I know what to do. I know what to do.
Are you sure?
Yes, same plan as before, but I pretend to be Abigail
Why is that better?
because Abigail can still wear the hat of disguise.
Ah, true.
Here's another hole in the plan.
Yeah.
That's why we
What
have
makes
that
you? What's that?
That's why we have you, because you find the holes.
Perfect. Okay. So who's to say that this new Duke, who's very suspicious and is investigating everyone that comes into the town,
When we walked right past those guards, they were so dumb. We were so
Who's-
suspicious.
let me finish.
Okay.
Who's to say that he doesn't have the ability to see through illusions? Whether it be himself or a trinket upon him or anything like that.
Well, I mean, if you think that way, then you know there's no sense of adventure. We might as well all go home. We gotta risk our lives.
We might as well all go home.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, he's expecting a bounty on Abigail. Boom! Here come all these adventurers, and they've got. Oh shit! I didn't put my monitor. Hold on.
You're definitely not at Motel 6. They didn't leave the light on.
So he's expecting Abigail to be brought in by a group of adventurers.
Here,
I have another hole in your plan.
Oh,
Remember the
God.
guy who got away whenever he fought us at Trollskull Manor? Who's to
He
say
didn't.
he didn't go talk to the Duke and
Who's to
tell
say
him
he
about
didn't-
all of
he
you
didn't-
guys?
He didn't run away and pee his pants. We don't know.
here's the thing that Penelope's idea has got some valor to it. We're going to eventually have to get in the front door. And that might be the key to getting us in. That might be hey, this is the only thing that's going to get us to the door. Is try to present Abigail as the bounty. And then spring our trap.
If it
Or-
fails,
We could see if the head guard is still favoring the Duke and not the Prince.
is the Duke dead? Old Duke?
Former Duke, yes. Right? But if he doesn't like the Prince, he may be willing
I
to
thought
get his
someone
own
was.
side.
I thought someone was just sick.
The information you received was that the former Duke and Duchess were ill, gravely ill, and not able to rule.
So I want to find out if there is some people that are looking to at least be sympathetic to our cause before we go kicking down the door and saying, here we are. We may have to have some backing from the people before we do this. So we're going to end up probably a little plan A and a little plan of B and come up with some chaos in between. So I like Penelope's idea, but I also like making sure that we have the right people in the right places to back us, so it doesn't look like we're just attacking the city.
The darkness.
If these people know why we're doing things, or if we're not just attacking the royalty of their country, we want them to know why we're doing it, so there'll be some form of leeway at the end of it.
Agreed. I also like Penelope's idea. I mean, I'll be down to pretend I'm being taken hostage. But I want to make sure, yeah, exactly what Granite said.
I like this plan. Get some backing. Use Penelope's plan as the tip of the spear,
Right.
but have fallback of like people backing us up.
Right. They need to know why we're doing it, not just doing it. Good idea, little one.
Agreed.
Oh, my ideas are good. You
Are
guys
we
just don't
acting
ever
on
listen.
this idea? No, wait.
No, we have to seek and we have to find information. We need to make sure that the people know what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Like these House of the
All right.
Nobles, one of these four are not going to be in our favor. But if of the three know what we're up to, that works for us.
I think for the night we need to chill, rest, whatever. In the morning, get up, go back to the merchant district, and question or whatnot to figure out if these families have changed their characteristics in the past year and started swaying to the other way. If I have to talk to Ned, I will. But let's use it as a last resort. He creeps me out.
Oh,
Daniel's
and so-
cracking up over there.
And so into the night, the party continues to discuss options of what seems like a well thought out plan for what will follow the next day. And that is where we will leave off for this episode of the Adventurers Guild. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today, and everybody, and those who stayed with us and watched the watched today's stream. I appreciate all y'all hanging around. That was a lot of fun, and in fact, it was as much fun as I hoped it was going to be.
Yeah, it was
Lot of
actually a really
information.
good. It was a really good episode. I
I vote
enjoyed a lot of that.
I hated and liked the storyteller, the fortune teller.
Hated and liked.
Oh, it was an information dump today.
Good job, Daniel. You did good.
Yeah.
Again, I'm glad, personally, on above the level, I'm glad y'all decided to go play with the fortune teller because y'all really didn't have to.
Oh, Penelope was not skipping.
Penelope
Nah.
started it.
Yeah.
So if there's information to be had, she would go straight for it. Push the red button. Let me know what I got.
And I knew there'd be a lot
Like
of
my-
fighting.
Like my biggest worry was the fortune teller seeing through the disguise and being like, "Here she is!" Ah!
That's exactly what Granite was like. You might get more revealed than
Ever-
you want.
That's exactly what I was worried about. Like, here she is! Everybody, take some of my apples.
My apples. Eat my apples. They're
Quick and the right.
delicious.
Everybody in the wagon, we're gonna Fast and Furious this shit.
Dun-dun-dun. Wagon wheel broke off.
I have
That would be our
many.
luck.
Thank you guys. That was a lot of fun. I'm
That
gonna
was great.
Feeling better,
pop
Michael.
out here.
All right, everybody.
job, guys.
We will see
Bye.
you all next time on the Adventuring Guild. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.